Welcome back to the Path to Better A1C podcast. I'm Jenny Pena, a National Board Certified Health and Wellness Coach and a Diabetes Prevention Program Lifestyle Coach. As the owner of Gen P Coaching, I help men and women lower their A1C, balance their blood sugar, lose weight, and prevent diabetes, all through my signature health coaching program, the A1C Reset Protocol. Whether you're just starting your health journey, you just heard about prediabetes, or you're looking for sustainable ways just to maintain your progress, you are at the right place. So let's take the next step together on your path to better A1C and long term health. Now, this is episode 2, and we're going to talk about habit formation. And we are going to explore how the power of setting goals and intentions can create lasting changes in your health. And we are going to go over the difference between what is a short term goal and a long term goal. And even how some goals can't really be smart. And I know that many of you may have heard about this, but there are some goals that are impossible for you to measure your progress or know how to even accomplish them. And they become more of like a dream or a vision that it doesn't have a frame to it. So we're going to talk about that. And also how we're going to tie these goals to your why. That is the key to keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself going. And when we hit those rock patches and we feel that we're stuck, that's what's going to keep us going. So goal setting can definitely be a game changer to lowering your A1C, right? So let's dive right in. What is the importance of goals and intentions, right? And what is the difference? Now that the new year has started, a lot of people talk about these things. Now, goals and intentions are both important and they act as a roadmap to your success, not just for health, but for anything. Without clear goals, it is easy for you to lose direction, feel overwhelmed, try to tackle many things at the same time, no sense of direction. There's really no progress. So, setting specific, realistic goals allow you to track your progress, allows you to celebrate milestones and stay motivated. Now, intentions, on the other hand, are more about values, are more about what are the deeper reasons behind your actions, right? So, when we start a new year or when we are reflecting, it could be a month, could be a week, um, the intentions are deeply tied to our motivation, our values. Why do we want to do this? What is the overall, how do I want to feel after I accomplish these goals? Now, the actual goal, that is exactly a tangible, specific thing that you want to accomplish. And then we're going to talk about actionable steps, which are all those steps that you need to take to reach that goal, whether it's a short term or a long term. Now, short term goals, these are the actionable steps that you need to take and to create immediate change. And I'm going to say something like as an example. Replacing sugary beverages with water or adding a 10-minute walk to your day. Those are short term. Those are things that you don't need as much preparation. You can actually take action fairly quickly, and they can somewhat be measurable when you design it differently. Now, when you're talking about a non smart example, it could be a broad term as I'll try to eat better this week. Well, I mean, I've had some clients that will say that to me. I'm like, well, can you define what better would look like? Can you give me details? What would better look like? Is it that you're going to eat 3 balanced meals? Is it that you're going to add vegetables to your plate? Is it that you're going to make sure you add protein in every meal? So, do you see how it becomes, yes, I want to eat better, but then you have to define what does that look like, especially for you, because we're all different. Now, long-term goals, they're the bigger picture objectives, right? They represent where you want to be in the future. For a lot of my clients, they have a target of they just want to lower their A1C. So they are no longer considered pre-diabetic. Some of them have a weight loss goal. So that's a very tangible, very specific goal. If you're doing the CDC's diabetes prevention program, one of the main goals is actually that you want to lose at least between 5 to 7% of your current weight in order for you to prevent or delay diabetes. So that is a very clear long-term specific goal. Now, a short goal to that would be, well, I need to lose a pound every week or 2 pounds per month. It could be something like that that you can actually measure. And if we're going to think again about tangible goals, it would be, okay, my A1C is 6%. I want to move it to below 5.7, which is the range of being in a normal level. And I want to do that 6 months by consistently doing A, B, and C, right? So when I meet with my clients, typically we sit down, we're like, okay, what are your concerns? What are your long-term goals? And then we go backwards. It's like, okay, this is where I want to be. Now, what do I need to do to reach that goal? And then we start focusing on the different pillars. What do we need to do with your diet, with your exercise? Are you having issues with stress? Are you sleeping well? Right? All that is part of that assessment that we do initially. And based on the areas that need to be built up a bit more, then we develop the plan. That's why my plan is personalized. It depends on where you are, and it also depends on your lifestyle. Now, all these types of goals are essential and are important. Now, how are they connected to your why? And during that onboarding call with my clients, I typically ask, okay, why do you want to lose weight? Why is lowering your A1C important? What is troubling you? And I can tell you, some of them will say, I'm overwhelmed with all the information. I am depressed because now I can't go out to eat. I don't know what to eat. I feel like I cannot eat carbs. I'm feeling fatigued. I am not having enough energy. There's so many things that will motivate them. I cannot lose weight no matter what I do. I want to look confident and look great in my clothes. I want to be able to run after my kids or my grandkids. There are many things that will actually pull that motivation, right? Others are purely, I just want to avoid the health complications of diabetes, which are major. A lot of my clients have seen diabetes very close because they have lost family members. They have seen other family members struggle with the consequences of having diabetes and not having it being controlled, and the medications and the side effects of the medications. So all of these components can be part of your why and your motivator. And that is the fuel that you need just to ignite that desire to change. Now, I would love for you to take a moment to reflect. You are here because obviously the title of my podcast, it has to do with A1C. So this is a concern that you have, but I would love for you to take a moment, reflect, and ask what is driving your desire to lower your A1C? Why do you want to improve your health? Try to write it down and revisit that often. Because sometimes we forget, and when we remember the why we are getting into this thing, why we're pursuing this, it keeps our motivation going. Now, we talked about the long-term goals and the short-term goals and the I wish goals that don't have much of a measurable element. But let's talk about what a SMART goal is. And this is not just a concept for health or wellness or life. This is a concept for everything, even for work. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, specific is that you want to clearly define what you want to achieve. Clearly define, meaning exercising more is not clearly defined. It has an undertone. Yes, you want to exercise. You want to exercise more. More can be different for two different people, right? Measurable. That's the second element. Include a way to track progress. If you don't track, sometimes you underestimate what you're doing or you overestimate what you're doing. So no matter what you do, find a way to track your progress. Now, achievable. This is big. Set realistic expectations. I have had clients that they have been sedentary. They have not done any type of exercise. They have a desk job. And all of a sudden, they want to set this goal of, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour every single day of the week. And I start asking, and it could be somebody that is very busy. I'm like, is this really achievable? And that goes back to starting small. And I was posting some things about that on my Instagram account about how starting small can actually be better. So make sure you set your expectations right. Now, relevant, tie it to your personal health priorities. Setting a goal that is not relevant to what you want to do, it may be a good goal. Is it relevant to your overall desire and your why? You have to really think that through. And then time bound. Time bound means you need to set a deadline and a time frame. I want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, that is somewhat measurable. It's somewhat specific, but it doesn't have any timeline. How are you going to measure progress? It's not measurable, right? So you have to build it in a way that it is flexible enough that you can kind of modify it, but you can still measure it. And again, we go back to, I want to eat more veggies, or I want to eat healthier, or I want to walk more. How does that even look like when it comes to being achievable? When would you actually work? When is it most likely that you can walk and do these things, right? So you have to change from, I want to eat healthier, to, I'm going to add 1 serving of non-starchy vegetables to my dinner 3 times a week for the next month. Or I am going to take a 10-minute walk after my lunch 3 times a week. Or I am going to make sure that I shut down all of my devices X amount of minutes before bedtime to cue my body that it's time to relax and get ready to sleep. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and I know that I've been throwing things out there, but simple goals for each health pillar. And I know that I keep throwing that, and I mentioned that in my previous episode. Health pillars are foundational areas that support your overall health, right? Nutrition, sleep, stress management, exercise, hydration, just to name a few. There are many theories out there. If you ask, it's going to tell you everybody has different amounts of pillars. Overall, they all kind of encompassate into the ones that I just mentioned. But let's talk about nutrition. Let's give an example so that you can kind of build your own goals as we go. Let's say that for nutrition, you want to add more fiber. Non-smart goal would be, I'll eat more fiber. Okay, you know where the problem is here already. Ideally, you would like to say, I'm going to include 1 serving of high fiber foods like beans, whole grains, chia seeds, quinoa at lunch each day this week. So you see, it's specific, it's measurable, it's time bound. You're not lost. How are you going to eat more fiber? When you see that SMART goal, you know exactly what to do. What do you need to prep? You know you need to go to the grocery store to get those beans and to get those whole grains. And you know you need to start planning for lunch for that week. So you see what is the difference? Now let's talk about hydration. Hydration is another one. Increase water intake. What I tell my clients, how much water are you actually taking? Some of my clients don't know. Some of my clients do know, and they know that they probably drink none. I have had clients that are like, I really drink no water. All my liquids come from other beverages, never water. So a SMART goal would be, drink a glass of water before each meal for the next 5 days. Or I'm going to drink a glass of water as soon as I wake up. Again, a non-SMART would be, I'll drink more water. It's just very broad and it has no way of measuring it. The same thing with sleep. Let's say you want to create a nighttime routine. That's a perfectly long-term goal. I'll try to sleep better. It's not very specific. A SMART goal would be, turn off your screens 30 minutes before bedtime every night. Now let's talk about stress. Practice gratitude could be an amazing goal. Something that I recommend a lot. A non-smart way of saying this will be, I'll think about things I'm grateful for. Now, if you want to reframe that, you will say, I'll write down 3 things that I'm grateful for every evening. Now, the last section that I want to cover, it's exercise. And let's say that you want to have that goal of increased activity. You want to take a 10-minute walk after dinner 3 times a week. That is specific, is measurable, versus I'll try to be more active, right? So now you understand how sometimes we have people that say, oh, I want to do all of this. And it's not like they don't have the right motivation. It's that their goals are just not built in a smart way. Now, another area that becomes very, very key is to keeping yourself motivated. And one way is to visualize success, celebrate your small wins, find a way of accountability, and adjust as needed, right? Try to visualize. That goes back to your why. Picture how achieving your goals will make you feel. Make sure you have these milestones and you celebrate yourself and look back and see how much you have progressed so that, again, you can keep fueling that motivation. Finding accountability, again, I'm a health coach. That's one thing that I provide to my clients, but finding a family member or a friend, somebody that is truly going to motivate you to continue going and can actually, in a positive way, encourage you and adjust. Because sometimes we set goals and we think that maybe that 10-minute walk during lunch does not work for you and the type of job that you have. Maybe you need to do that in the morning. Maybe evening times is the best time. So make sure that you are flexible and you know that if maybe you're not accomplishing a goal, it may not be that there's something wrong. It may be that that goal does not fit your lifestyle. And that's where personalization comes in. Now, for tracking and troubleshooting, you can use journals, apps, there are habit trackers. There's so many apps out there. And then again, troubleshooting. If you miss a goal, think about the barriers. Brainstorm solutions. If you're struggling to drink water, that was something that I can personally relate. Try to keep the water bottle with you at all times. My water bottle is next to me right now, and I keep it next to me at all times while I'm working. Because I know that if I don't have the water there, I can spend hours without drinking water. So any adjust to your environment, do that, right? And why these goals matter, why this matters for lowering A1C, right? Nutrition is important because healthier habits will stabilize your blood sugar. Knowing how to combine your foods and eating more vegetables and fiber and protein will stabilize your blood sugar. Staying hydrated supports all of your metabolic functions, so it positively impacts your A1C. Do you know that insulin sensitivity is directly connected to quality sleep? So for those that are not sleeping well and they're wondering why they're waking up and they have high levels of glucose, it's because probably they're not sleeping well. Stress management. The moment that you are at a high stress, your blood sugar spikes. And this is just one area that stress affects. And then exercise. When you exercise after your meals, it will help your body process glucose effectively. So you see how all these areas, while they're great for everyone, they have a direct impact on your A1C levels. So I hope this helps. And I hope that after listening to all of this, now that it's the beginning of the year, that you can reflect, you can design your goals the right way, and that you can start making positive changes to your A1C levels. I will put some of my resources in the show notes, but as always, feel free to reach out, comment, ask any questions, and let's just prevent diabetes together. That's it for today's episode of The Path to Better A1C. Remember that goals tied to your why can lead to powerful lasting changes. And if you're ready to take control of your health, visit my website for more information. Make sure you subscribe so that you can get the alert whenever there's a new podcast that I will be releasing every week. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will get a free resource. Right now, I have a blood sugar balancing snacks list that can help you be ready for that mid-afternoon and to have the right snacks to keep your blood sugar levels balanced. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you at the next episode.